In the private salons of Geneva's most exclusive banks, wealth managers witness purchasing decisions that would perplex even seasoned luxury retail professionals. A billionaire client spends 40 minutes deliberating over a $300 cashmere scarf yet signs off on a $12 million yacht purchase in under 5 minutes. This paradox reveals a fundamental truth about elite consumer behavior that contradicts everything mainstream marketing teaches about rational decision-making. The world's wealthiest individuals operate according to invisible codes and psychological frameworks that remain largely mysterious to those outside their circles. Understanding what the ultra-high net worth individuals actually purchase, and more importantly why they purchase it, unveils a fascinating psychology where value transcends price entirely. These consumers do not simply buy products, they acquire symbols, experiences, and tangible manifestations of their identity within highly stratified social hierarchies. The spending patterns of the true elite demonstrate that once basic luxury needs are satisfied, purchases become increasingly about scarcity, exclusivity, and access to closed worlds. A $20,000 handbag might be dismissed as common while a $30,000 invitation-only experience receives immediate acceptance without price discussion. This exploration into luxury purchasing psychology reveals the hidden motivations driving decisions in a market where conventional economics cease to apply. The behaviors we discover challenge assumptions about luxury consumption and illuminate why certain brands command unwavering loyalty across generations of wealthy families. If you want to understand the secret psychology behind how billionaires and ultra-wealthy collectors make their luxury purchasing decisions, join the Lux Eternal community by subscribing and activating the notification bell. Every week, we decode the hidden patterns and unspoken rules that govern the world of elite consumption and reveal what truly motivates purchases in the stratosphere of wealth. The concept of inconspicuous consumption has emerged as the defining characteristic of truly elite luxury purchasing in the 21st century. While mass affluent consumers seek visible logos and recognizable status symbols, the genuine ultra-wealthy increasingly favor pieces that signal membership only to fellow insiders. A Brunello Cucinelli suit with no external branding whatsoever might cost $8,000, its quality apparent only to those who understand fabric, construction, and subtle tailoring details. This phenomenon represents a dramatic shift from the ostentatious luxury consumption that characterized previous decades, particularly the logo-heavy 1980s and 2000s. Research from luxury consultancy Bain reveals that purchases above $50,000 increasingly involve bespoke or customized items with minimal to no visible brand identification. The Hermès Birkin in exotic leather represents the perfect embodiment of this philosophy, recognizable to insiders yet anonymous to the broader public who might mistake it for any leather bag. This stealth wealth aesthetic extends beyond fashion into every category of elite consumption, from watches to automobiles to residential architecture. Patek Philippe and Audemars. Piguet owners often select understated models that fly beneath the radar of casual observers while commanding prices exceeding $100,000. The psychological motivation stems partly from security concerns but more fundamentally from a desire to separate oneself from the merely rich who still feel the need to broadcast their wealth. The phenomenon of experiential luxury has overtaken material goods as the primary spending category for many ultra-high net worth individuals, particularly among younger wealth holders. Private island rentals costing $500,000 per week now routinely book out years in advance despite offering no tangible object to take home. Luxury travel experiences designed by specialist concierge services can easily exceed $100,000 for a single week, incorporating access to locations and experiences unavailable through any amount of independent research. These curated journeys might include private archaeological site access, dinners with famous chefs in unusual locations, or activities designed specifically around the client's particular passions. The White Desert Antarctica camp charges approximately $80,000 per person for a week-long polar experience that includes staying in heated pods and dining on gourmet cuisine at the bottom of the world. For elite consumers, these experiences provide not just memories but social capital, stories that establish credentials within their peer groups that no purchased object can match. The shift toward experiential spending reflects deeper psychological needs for authenticity, uniqueness, and personal transformation that material goods increasingly fail to satisfy. Yacht charters rather than yacht ownership exemplify this trend, with weekly charter rates of $500,000 or more providing ultimate flexibility without the operational headaches of ownership. The discretionary trust purchasing pattern reveals that truly wealthy families approach luxury acquisitions as multi-generational investment decisions rather than impulsive consumption. Family offices managing billionaire fortunes increasingly guide purchases toward items likely to appreciate or at minimum maintain value across decades. This explains the growing dominance of vintage Patek Philippe watches, Hermès bags in exotic leathers, and blue-chip artworks in elite purchasing patterns. A client might spend $300,000 on a vintage Patek Philippe Nautilus not primarily for wearing but as a portable, appreciating asset more secure than many traditional investments. The same logic drives purchases of limited edition vehicles, particularly those from brands like Ferrari and Porsche that maintain robust collector markets ensuring future liquidity. Wealth managers now routinely advise clients on the investment merits of luxury purchases, creating detailed analyses comparing classic cars, watches, wine, and handbags as alternative asset classes. This calculating approach to luxury consumption might seem to contradict the emotional nature of these purchases, but elite buyers seamlessly integrate both rational and emotional decision-making. The satisfaction derives partly from knowing that indulgence also serves as prudent wealth preservation, creating psychological permission to acquire without guilt. The concept of privileged access drives purchasing decisions among the elite far more powerfully than price considerations, with waiting lists and invitation-only opportunities creating intense desire. Hermès famously requires extensive purchase history before offering clients the opportunity to buy a Birkin or Kelly, transforming these bags into tangible symbols of insider status. This manufactured scarcity paradoxically increases desirability among those for whom virtually nothing else remains unattainable, creating value through access restriction rather than intrinsic qualities. Rolex deliberately constrains supply of its most desirable sports models, ensuring that even billionaires must cultivate relationships with authorized dealers to secure certain timepieces. The secondary market implications prove fascinating, with gray market prices for hot models like the Daytona or Submariner exceeding retail by 50 to 100%. Elite consumers prove willing to pay these premiums not despite the markup but because of it, the surcharge itself becoming proof of the item's genuine desirability. Private sale events hosted by luxury houses for top clients create similar dynamics, with invitations to these exclusive showcases representing status markers as valuable as the objects offered. The psychology here reveals that truly wealthy individuals have transcended price sensitivity entirely, instead responding primarily to scarcity, exclusivity, and the validation that comes from being chosen. The customization and bespoke movement has exploded among elite consumers seeking to differentiate their purchases from standard luxury offerings accessible to the merely affluent. Rolls-Royce reports that 95% of vehicles sold involve some degree of customization, with many clients spending additional hundreds of thousands on unique specifications. These modifications extend far beyond selecting from available options to commissioning entirely unique features like custom wood veneers from personally significant trees or hand-painted coach lines in family colors. The Hermès special order process allows top clients to design completely custom bag configurations, selecting exotic leathers, hardware finishes, and interior treatments unavailable in standard production. These pieces can take years to produce and cost double or triple standard models, yet demand far exceeds the limited capacity Hermès allocates to this program. Savile Row tailors serving ultra-wealthy clients create not just bespoke suits but entire wardrobes designed around the individual's lifestyle, physique, and personal aesthetic over years-long relationships. The appeal transcends mere fit to encompass the ego satisfaction of owning something literally unique in the world, impossible for others to replicate regardless of their wealth. This consumption pattern reveals how the ultimate luxury has become not purchasing the best but owning something no one else can have. The phenomenon of relationship-based purchasing dominates elite luxury consumption, with personal connections to brand representatives often mattering more than product specifications. Ultra-high net worth individuals typically work with dedicated sales associates who understand their preferences, alert them to new arrivals, and facilitate access before items reach broader markets. These relationships can span decades and survive even when the sales professional moves between luxury houses, with loyal clients following them across brands. The private client services offered by major luxury groups provide dedicated relationship managers who coordinate purchases across all brands in the portfolio, ensuring VIP treatment everywhere. For clients spending hundreds of thousands or millions annually across luxury categories, these managers become trusted advisors whose recommendations carry tremendous weight. The trust factor proves particularly crucial for categories like fine jewelry and watches where authenticity, sourcing, and investment potential require specialist expertise. Cartier and Van Cleef high jewelry clients often work with the same specialist for years, developing relationships where purchasing decisions happen through phone calls based purely on descriptions and trust. This relationship-centric model explains why elite consumers prove remarkably brand loyal despite having unlimited options, the psychological comfort of trusted relationships outweighing potential advantages from shopping around. The philanthropic tie-in increasingly influences luxury purchasing decisions among ultra-wealthy consumers, particularly those under 50 who integrate social consciousness with consumption. Luxury brands have recognized this shift, with initiatives like Brunello Cucinelli donating portions of proceeds to restore Italian cultural heritage and Tom's expanding into luxury while maintaining charitable giving models. Elite consumers respond positively to brands offering them ways to do good while indulging, resolving potential guilt about excessive consumption through integrated giving. Charity auction purchases represent an extreme version of this dynamic, with unique luxury experiences and objects routinely selling for multiples of market value at fundraising events. A lunch with a celebrity or a naming opportunity at a cultural institution might command $1 million, a price bearing no relationship to intrinsic value but perfect sense within the philanthropic luxury framework. These purchases simultaneously satisfy multiple psychological needs, acquiring something unique, supporting causes the buyer values, and publicly demonstrating both wealth and civic virtue. The secret psychology of collecting drives much elite luxury consumption, with many ultra-wealthy individuals pursuing complete sets or comprehensive collections within specific categories. A watch collector might obsessively pursue every reference from a particular Patek Philippe line, spending millions to achieve completeness that provides deep psychological satisfaction. Similarly, Hermès bag collectors chase specific color and leather combinations, finding joy in the hunt and completion that transcends the utility or even beauty of individual pieces. This collecting mindset transforms luxury consumption from utility-driven to game-like, with clear objectives, measurable progress, and the satisfaction of mastery within a complex domain. The knowledge acquisition involved in serious collecting provides intellectual satisfaction that justifies continued investment even when physical space for collections becomes strained. Wine collecting exemplifies this perfectly, with elite collectors amassing cellars worth millions that they could never consume in multiple lifetimes, the collecting itself being the point rather than eventual consumption. The ultimate truth about elite luxury consumption reveals that beyond a certain wealth threshold, purchasing decisions have little to do with the objects themselves and everything to do with identity, belonging, and the human need for meaning. These consumers buy not products but membership in exclusive circles, connections to heritage and craftsmanship traditions, and tangible expressions of their values and aesthetic sensibilities. Understanding this psychology illuminates why certain brands command fierce loyalty across generations while others fail despite superior products or lower prices. The world of elite consumption operates according to rules that seem irrational until one recognizes that these purchases serve primarily psychological and social functions within closed communities. For those aspiring to understand or eventually participate in these rarefied markets, recognizing that price represents only one factor among many proves essential to comprehending the true nature of luxury consumer behavior.